Hello everyone, it's Allison from Determined to Shine, and I am here today with a first look walkthrough at the Mystical Medleys Vintage Cartoon Tarot by Gary Hall. This deck is actually not in stores yet, but I will have a pre-order link for you in the description, of course. But it is a new release coming this fall from Liminal 11. And I was lucky enough to come home from a road trip recently and find this waiting for me. Thank you, Liminal 11. It was a surprise in my mailbox just to share with you all. And I was really excited because this has been on my radar for a long time. I actually follow Gary Hall on social media and had been watching the creation of this deck like before it was even announced that Liminal 11 had picked it up for publication. So it's really exciting to have it in my hands and early. So let's take a look. I did take the plastic off, but otherwise you will be getting my genuine first impressions. So this does come in a standard Liminal 11 box, which of course are anything but standard. Get that devil card, at least I'm assuming. And then it pulls out and we have the star inside. They've really found their sweet spot with these boxes, super high quality. So there's that. And then we'll pull out inside, of course, we have the cards and a little hardcover guidebook and a piece of cardboard, which I throw away. So, oh, and then we have the sun inside there. So that's kind of fun. So let's take a look at the guidebook. So as I mentioned, this deck is by Gary Hall. And as I mentioned, I've been following the deck, and it's based on 1930s vintage cartoons. So that's in style, but of course the drawings and characters are his own. Also known as rubber hose animation. And you know, it's interesting because this style of animation is both playful, but also kind of dark, right? So for me personally, oh, it looks like we're going to get some squirrel cards. For me personally, it's like a fun blend of that cartoon aesthetic that I love, but also some of that darker side. So I'm guessing this has some shadows at work as well. So, okay, I was flipping and talking. So we've got the majors with the card picture and description. Then the minors, of course, which you just saw. Looks like about 2 pages per suit, which is fairly standard for Liminal 11, but really beautifully illustrated, super high quality. And what I love about this deck is that Gary Hall was really clear from the beginning. Oh, look at that. That's so neat. That he wanted to create a usable deck. This is not just a deck of art. Sometimes you get a tarot deck and it's great, but the art is great, but it doesn't read well, or it doesn't act like a tarot deck. And this is meant to be that tribute to that animation that is, was such a kind of important part of animation's evolution in the early part of the century, and then also, be a working tarot deck. So let's take a look. So great cardstock. Here's the card back image. It is reversible, and I really like it, actually. There's quite a lot of symbolism here, and I have a feeling the whole deck is going to be that way. Let's not get lost in the animation and think that the symbols are not present. So, and it is kind of a matte feeling, so I think it will shuffle similarly to other Liminal 11 decks. So let's take a look and see what we have here. I'm going to zoom in just a hair if I can. Okay, that looks great. All right, so we have the Fool. So there's a lot happening. I think it's going to take me a while with these cards to process everything going on. Let's have a look in the guidebook, actually, and just read the entry for the Fool, just to get a sense of, Gary's vision. So the guidebook says, The morning is full of joy as the carefree fool sets off on his journey. All potential and endless possibilities, his hopes and dreams packed for the trip. With only one eye on the road, does he see where the path is leading him? Is he listening to the calls, warning of danger ahead? Or is he confident that his feet will take him exactly where he wants to go? Blind faith leading the way. All adventures begin with a single step. Don't be afraid to know you know nothing. There are choices to be made and every choice is valid. Muster your strength, listen to your heart, and let the story begin. So that is such a great, description of the Fool. And I love one eye on the road, literally just one eye, right? And our helpful little pupper that's always present. So I really like this, and I love that, talking about, like, that's what I love about the Fool, right? Like, is the Fool being careless, or is he being optimistic and trusting, right? Like, there are some big time Fool moments in my life where I have leapt off a cliff, but kind of on purpose, trusting I'd know where I landed. And there have been other times I just wasn't paying attention, right? So that's the magic there. Speaking of magic, here is the Magician. Really neat. I'm loving these flowers. They really feel like those really early Disney animated flowers that you saw in their really early cartoons, like pre-Mickey or right around even Steamboat Willie, or those early bits of animation, right? Love the High Priestess. Oh, look at this Empress. She reminds me of a bee, and I'm not sure why, because I don't think it is a bee. It's just a character, right? But I'm just loving all these details. The color. And it is, as predicted, this like really neat balance of cute, but also dark and a little bit shadowy and a little intense. Like, this is a really playful style of art, but is it cute? Like, this is very intense. I actually love this Emperor. The Emperor is one of my personal cards. I am an Aries sign through and through, so I love seeing all that imagery there. And I love kind of the, like, power and the cheerfulness that's, like, maybe a little forced or a little intense. Like, but I love it. I'm here for it. Okay. Let's keep moving. I don't want to keep you here forever. Loving the Lovers. We've got some Adam and Eve happening here, which is, of course, a story I could say many things about, but great depiction on that card. Here is the Chariot, another birth card of mine. I really always want to like the Chariot. This is interesting because I think of the Chariot as such a powerful card. But he almost feels like he's escaping rather than running toward, right? Like, I don't know. That's just an interesting vibe I get. Here's the Strength card. That's, of course, the picture on the box and one of my favorites. It was in the guidebook as well. The Hermit. I love this Hermit. Have you ever felt like this? I think we all have, when we're just like, Okay, sorry, that noise was probably very annoying, especially if you're listening to headphones, but that's what he sounds like, I swear. Wheel of Fortune. That's very like what will happen, right? Loving the Justice. This is my card for 2021, is Justice. Hanged Man. Death. There, again, a lot happening. We have, I was going to call him Skeletor. It's not Skeletor, but riding here, the gates over here, riding on top of, and then the crown that's fallen. These characters here, this medicine bug, doctor bug, pleading, right? There's a lot going on. Like, this deck, I think, I may choose to deck study with this, just spend some real time with it, because I feel like there's some potential for some really powerful medicine in this deck. Here's the Tower. Tower's one of my favorite cards. I know that's silly, but I've had a lot of Tower moments, and I'm okay with it. Here's our Star. I love this little flamingo. It reminds me of the Alice in Wonderland croquet mallet flamingos, right? But yeah, I just think there's some medicine in these cards. Like, this is absolutely a very thoughtful deck that is meant to be used. And as I said, I've been following it for a long time, and it's just really neat to see here. I am digging this sun. I am here for it. I love, there's so much fire energy in this card, and like sometimes the sun card is a little more muted than I feel like it should be. Like the sun is a star and a massive incandescent gas. Like the sun is like, it'll burn you, right? Like the sun is hot and fiery and powerful, like, and without it, like we all die in minutes. So, you know, it's more than just like a pretty little thing in the corner of your drawing from when you're little, right? So I like the power in that card. No intensity here, folks. Wow. Okay. I want to like stop on every card for 25 minutes, and I understand that's like not ideal for anyone. But okay, that completes our majors. Let's take a look at the wands. Here's our ace, our little cloud witch. Two of wands. Oh man, I want to see what his face looks like, right? But you also don't. I almost feel like I never thought I would say this is a deck for path working, but I feel like it is. Path working is when you kind of do some meditation where you like envision yourself going into the cards. I mean, that's one way. And picture yourself in these scenes. I love this. This is really joyful, actually. It feels, I like the happiness there. Oh, that guy is overwhelmed. He's having a hard day. The rest of the team did not show up, and he still wants to win. But yeah, there's just a lot to take in here. I dig this 8. The 8 of Wands is not usually a card I like. It's usually just kind of like boring, if I'm being honest. It's just like wands flying through the sky and nothing else. And so I love the witches. It really adds to that. There's our 9 and 10. Oh, our little page with his just little bloop of fire. Oh, look at this little guy. He's so cute in the desert. Yeah, I just, this is a yummy deck. I'm very excited. I wasn't really sure how I would feel about it, simply because it's, again, like I love animation. When new cartoony decks come out, I get really excited, but usually it's that bright, cheery animation, like, you know, think Care Bears, not the darker style, but it's really, really powerful. I am in love with this ace. The cup overflows. And the lotuses, that little ghosty. Or is that an angel? Ghost angel? Here's the 2. A lot going on again. Very intense, but very beautiful 3. This almost feels like a deck to help with loss and grieving too. But like, it's kind of that, like, when we grieve, we have this initial horrible grief, right? And then we integrate our grief, and over time it moves. And I feel like this is that deck you use when you're like a little calmer, but ready to like dig into the feelings and start to heal. Love the 6 of Cups. 7, I have like Beauty and the Beast vibes here from the cabinet that's alive. This part, not as much, right? That's a little darker. See, it's like, it has the magic, but the darkness. I can't quite describe it. Yeah, it's really powerful. I'm thinking, because it's, you know, you get my first impressions live, which means sometimes my hand or my brain is running a mile a minute as I'm talking. But, you know, the biggest shadow and grief work I've been personally working on lately is my journey with having MS. I'm going to pause on this Queen of Cups for a minute because I am here for it. Oh, this might be my favorite card in the deck so far. I love this Queen of Cups. Because I realized recently that, like, MS creates... So we're going into swords, sidebar. I'll keep going while I talk, so I don't keep you here forever and ever. We got a little cloud friend. He's a little beaten up, but still here for it. He's still here to try. Ooh, more Alice in Wonderland's vibes. MS has been an interesting journey for me because it's caused me a lot of heartbreak. Here's our Three of Swords. This is a really unique depiction of the Three of Swords. I should not be trying to talk about two things while I'm doing this. With MS, it created so many good things in my life. And I know that sounds really weird, but like it allowed me to heal and up-level my energy practice. And it led me to a lot of things as I was looking for relief and ease in my emotions and in my body that have changed me in the most profound and personal ways. But at the same time, I do live with physical pain in my body every single day. And that is really, really hard. And I haven't really grieved that. Like I spend a lot of time chasing joy instead and not allowing space for the hard stuff. This is really great. And this feels like maybe it's the deck to explore those things with, because I live in this world where it's this really hard thing that's brought me a lot of peace, but in my life, but it also brings me a lot of pain. And so I feel like this guy sometimes like, what do I do? But also still like trying to be cute. Oh my God. Oh, I'm freaking out. Okay, so you guys know, if you've watched my reviews before, the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords are really, really important cards to me. Because I've gotten hit by life many a time. And the 10 of Swords, like this. So this is how I feel about MS, right? So it's interesting that that's what came up, because I feel like I have this like broken body that's like all worn out and confused and like laying down, but like, hey, I'm here for it. I got this. Like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Like, I want to frame this and put it on my wall. I'm so in love with it. Yes, this is my deck. This is my deck for working with my feelings about my body. So I didn't know that when I started this walkthrough, so I'm pretty excited. Wow. And now for something completely different, right? We have the optimism energy of the page. And we have some fierceness in our knight. Queen of Swords. This is interesting. You never see the Queen of Swords with a baby. I think of the Queen of Swords as so powerful and emotionless at times. And this is like that. I feel like this is that badass woman CEO where they're like, how do you balance motherhood? And she's like, would you ask me if I was a man? But like, she just does, because she's here for it and she's got her shit together. And here's our king. I love the butterflies too. It's like such a juxtaposition. All right, and let's take a look at our pentacles. And we've got our happiest cloud friend yet. And our 2. 3. Like that. Here's our greedy little 4 of Pentacles. And the 5. Oh, the 5 of Pentacles. I had a really powerful reading with the 5 of Pentacles recently. It was actually from Wesley at, I believe his channel's at 22 Zines. I'll put the link in the description box below to his channel. But I got a reading from him in the mail around this card. And it was actually so interesting because it was about, well, he didn't know that, but it was about my MS and only seeking joy and not allowing space for the hard stuff. So see, it's all coming together today, friends. Here's our 6 of Pentacles, our very tired 7, 8, 9, little flower friend, and a delightful 10. This reminds me, like, doesn't this feel like Aladdin? Okay, maybe it doesn't to anybody else, but like all the people running through the streets, like when Prince Ali is going by, that's what I think of in them. And they've like caught all the money getting thrown. Okay, here's our page, working hard, hardly working. I don't know. Either way, knight. Oh, really great queen. Okay, there's some like Disney homage here for sure. If you follow Disney animation history, there's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and Clarabelle Cow, and these are not those characters, but I can feel the heart of them in this card. King. And then we have the happy squirrel and the sad squirrel, which is a fun surprise. So I don't actually have a lot of decks with a happy squirrel card, which is a bummer because it's really fun when deck creators include it. So the story of the happy squirrel is it's actually, maybe you should Google it. I don't know if I want to ruin it. It's from The Simpsons. And there was a joke about, Lisa's getting a tarot reading and gets all these like traditionally scary cards that the tarot reader says are like, fine, no big deal, and then the happy squirrel comes up and she's like, well, that looks good. And the reader's like, no. And so it's just kind of funny. And so sometimes deck creators put in a happy squirrel card as a little bit of an homage to that. And since this deck is based on animation, I think that's awesome. The sad squirrel is something I have never seen before, unique to this deck. I pulled up, so the guidebook does have 2 pages on this, and it just sad squirrel says, hands off my nuts. That's the sour stance of the sad squirrel. This is no cute, cuddly creature. Hands off my nuts. And it says, ask yourself, why does it always rain on me? Why not share the wealth and spread the love? You'll be happier if you do. So if you're feeling grumpy today, see if you can go from the sad squirrel to the happy squirrel. No, I don't know. Just allow space for what is. Which brings me to, of course, I always like to remind you, if you are experiencing darkness in your life right now, it will get better. I promise, promise, promise. And you know how I know? Because it always does. Like, there's things we can count on in life, and that it's that the sun will come out tomorrow, and also that it probably will rain again, right? We live in cycles, and whatever we're going through, like, the only thing we can count on is change. So just know that it's a cycle and things will get better. So that is all of the cards in the Mystical Medleys Tarot. I have to say I am quite delighted. Again, I wasn't sure what to think because while I love animation, it is a darker style for me, but there's some power in these cards for me, and I feel like they have shown up for me at just the right time in my life. So it's exciting to have the pre-release copy because the work I need to do with these cards is work that I'm called to do right now in my life, not in a few months. So thank you, Liminal 11, for sending me this deck. Thank you, Gary Hall, for creating it because it's amazing. And I think there is some great medicine in this deck for you. If you liked this deck, links are below on how to pre-order. If you liked this video, of course, I will invite you to subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, etc., etc. I am a growing channel, so that always helps, of course. And if you are interested in bringing more joy into your life and playing with cards and crystals and art and all of the things that we do at Determined to Shine, check out the other links below. You can find out about upcoming classes, online retreats, and even I'm very excited to announce, first live and in-person retreat in so long. We have just announced that we are going in March to Albuquerque, New Mexico to gather in person for hugs and cards and creativity. So much love to all of you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. And I will see you next time.